out quickly, and fled from the sepulchre, for they trembled and were amazed, neither said anything to any man, for they were afraid. Now when Jesus was risen early the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had cast 7 devils. And she went and told them that she had been with him, as they mourned and wept. And they, when they had heard that he was alive and had been seen of her, believed it not. After that he appeared in another form unto 2 of them as they walked and went into the country. And they went and told it unto the rest of them, neither believed they then. Afterward he appeared unto the 11 as they sat at meat, and upbraided them with their unbelief and hardness of heart, because they believed not them which had seen him after he was risen. And he said unto them, Go ye into all the world, and preach the gospel to every creature. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned. And these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name shall they cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. So is recorded in the book of Mark, the greatest story that has been told. It's not surprising then that today at Easter time people gathered in their various churches to celebrate and to remember. What does it all mean? Ask the flowers, ask the grass, ask the leaves. It means life, new life. It means a beginning. It means another chance. It means that the Savior is risen. I would like to thank all of you that have participated in some Easter service. And I would like to salute to those of you today that continue to sing his song. He is risen. Were you there? And as we listen at the songs of Easter, and as we ponder over the real meaning of Easter, we are forced to ask ourselves, suppose we could take the time of past Easters and plug it into time now. Suppose the resurrection or the crucifixion had been this week, what would you have done? Yes, you would have been looking at television at your favorite story, and no one would dare cut off television to witness the crucifixion. Or maybe we would have looked at the crucifixion for a minute, but then Dallas had to come on, radio and others, and you would have to cut it off in turn. And yet we think, were you there when they crucified my Lord? It would have depended, if it had happened in 1984, whether or not the football games or the baseball games or the basketball games were on. Because if they had been on, the men would have been in a separate room witnessing their favorite sports activities. It would have been a tragedy if it had happened during the Olympics. Who would have witnessed it on television? Were you there when they crucified my Lord, they sang. But suppose you had been there, what would you have done? Yes, you would have headed towards another city, because you would not have wanted to even be near the cross. I want you to think about it. And it's easy to live in the past and say, were you there when they crucified my Lord? But let me ask you some questions on this Easter. Were you there when senior citizens were beaten on the streets of our city? Where were you when people were breaking in other people's homes? Were you there when they broke into a home and took the things that people had worked for? Were you there when the drunkards took over the streets of our city and destroyed our people? Were you there? Were you there when the dope peddlers came down the streets with their pills, with their powder, with their grass? Were you there? What did you say then? Did you pick up the cross? Did you? Or did you go the other way? Then you must sing, were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when young children didn't have any new clothes for Easter, were you there? Were you there? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there? The question. Judgment Day is coming. And we are going to have to stand there and answer the question. Were you there when your brother mistreated you and you failed to forgive him? Were you there? We are singing, were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they ignored certain people? Were you there when they laughed at certain people because of their race, their creed, their color, or religion? Were you there? And yet we are singing this Easter, were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there? Were you there when you saw in your own neighborhoods, in your own surroundings, young people that couldn't read or write? Were you there? If you were there, I know you are sharing your knowledge with those that do not know. Clara Luper, KAEZ Radio, and this is our Easter special. And here's our ace and your favorite reporter, Shelley.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Shelley Marie Luper bringing you the news. Today I will read to you about the Easter lilies and palms. Lilies of white and palms of green mean Easter time in the United States. Each year people decorate their churches with lilies and palms to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus. Some people believe that the palm means peace and that the lily means beauty and goodness. Now, upon the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they came into the sepulchre, bringing the spices which they had prepared, and certain others with them. And they found the stone rolled away from the sepulchre. And they entered in and found not the body of the Lord Jesus. And it came to pass, as they were much perplexed, thereabout, behold, 2 men stood by them in shining garments. And as they were afraid, and bowed down their faces to the earth, they said unto them, Why seek ye the living among the dead? He is not here, but he is risen. Remember how he spake unto you when you were yet in Galilee, saying, The Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men, and be crucified, and the third day rise again. And they remembered these words, and returned from the sepulchre, and told all these things unto the 11 and to all the rest. This has been brought to you by Merlin Hilton. Merlin sells home insurance, life insurance, and car insurance. You can contact Merlin by calling office 751-8435 and home 424-6862, and by the Hold the Wall for Fairly.
Thank you, Shelley. There are some new programs that are being initiated by the Oklahoma City Board of Education, and I would like to tell you of some Magic Morning special interest schedules that will be held May 5th, 12th, and 19th from 9 o'clock to 10:25 a.m. and from 10:30 to 11:55 a.m. They will be held at the Gatewood School, 1821 Northwest 21st Street, Pope 5th Year Center, 3806 North Prospect, Prairie Queen, 6609 South Black Welder, and Western Village, 1508 Northwest 106th Street. The participants must provide their own transportation. It's open from grades kindergarten to 2nd and grades 3rd through 5th. The courses are Computer Basics, Sherlock Holmes in the Laboratory, Creative Cooking, Pottery, Fun with Figures, Wildlife Study, Spanish, and Woodwork Projects. All you will have to do to enroll is just contact the Board of Education. Now, you return enrollments as soon as possible, and you may get it for $25 per session, and you cannot do that. As we talk about the schools in Oklahoma City, I want you to know that the Hispanic parents are having are sponsoring a fundraiser. They are celebrating a Cinco de Mayo celebration, which is a Mexican traditional holiday on May 5th. The fundraising event will be a carnival on Sunday, May 6th at the Sacred Heart Church Grounds, 2706 South Shortail, from 1 to 7 p.m. The Elementary Science Expo will be held on Wednesday, April the 25th, and Thursday, April the 26th at the complex located at 5200 North Eastern. There will be over 600 fourth and fifth graders from the Oklahoma City's public schools, 54 elementary schools, and fifth-year centers participating. The students will register on April the 25th from 8:30 a.m. to noon. The students who have winning projects will be given their awards by school officials on Thursday from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. When we think of celebration, we cannot say too much about our young people because the Hayes Elementary celebrates 89ers Day and celebrated 89ers Day in real pioneer fashion. That celebration was on Friday, April the 20th at 6900 South Bias. They really brought the 89ers spirit to Oklahoma City in the form of an old-fashioned outside picnic complete with a stick pony parade. At 11:30 a.m., they played all kind of games, and at 12:30 p.m., they had some learning experiences through the efforts of the John Marshall High School FAA students. The students took their sheep, goats, and so on to the Hayes Elementary School celebration. I would like for you now to think for a minute because on May 17th, you will have the opportunity to see a movie. And it will be an unusual movie. And I would like for you to jot down first the name of the movie. It's Brother President, the story of Martin Luther King Jr. I want you to jot that down. Now, that's May 17th. And I would like to read you an invitation. The cast, producer, director, and friends of the Oklahoma University filmed the movie, Brother President, the story of Martin Luther King Jr., written by Clara Luper, starring Ronald Moore, Arnett Gaines, Shirley's Lovelace, Michael Kazar, and 1,000 others. Request the honor of your distinguished presence at the 5-day showing of Brother President at the Tower Theater, 425 Northwest 23rd Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. On May 17, 1984 will be premiere night. That is the night that Oklahoma will bring Hollywood's pioneers to Oklahoma City. According to one reporter, there are 62 cakes that will be ready to cut to celebrate. There will be hors d'oeuvres. There will be drinks, all on premiere night, as you have the opportunity to see the stars being limousine in. You will also see the stars walk out on red carpet. And I would urge you to bring your autograph books in order that you could get autographs from all of the stars. Now remember, I told you that every person that was in Brother President was a star. And just think, you will have the opportunity to get autographs from stars. And that's on May 17th, 1984. To make sure that the most intelligent audience in radio in Oklahoma City, those that listen to the Clara Luper radio show, I want you to be in on it first. Now, the tickets are on sale at the Tower Theater. They are on sale right now. That's at 425 Northwest 23rd Street here in Oklahoma City. The tickets for the premiere are $5. Now, if you go May 18th through the 21st, it's only $4. Children under 12, $2 on May 18th through the 21st. Now, those of you, I want you to go in today and pick up your tickets. The first 5 that go down to the Tower Theater will receive, I'm talking about immediately after I go off the air, the first 5, and I know you're going to be too busy to listening to the Clara Luper radio show to dare turn your radio off and go in and get your tickets. But if you can get somebody to go in, let's go back over. Those of you that want to be there on premiere night, where you can meet the stars, where you can get autographs from the stars, where you can get cake and punch and punch. I don't know what kind of drinks they are going to have, but I know it's going to be drinks. It might not be the kind you like out there in Radio Land, but it's going to be some drinks, hors d'oeuvres. If you want to see the stars with their long dresses on and the men in tux, I want you to be there on premiere night. Now, you've got to remember that we have just started the publicity on the sale of tickets, and I don't want you left out. I'm calling you now and telling you to go down and pick up your tickets. According to the owner of the Tower Theater, they only have 817 seats. Mr. George Singer, the man that you should know, the man that you saw on Channel 9 last week when a city saluted him, a man that's feeding old people. And when I asked the question, were you there when senior citizens needed something to eat? George Singer said, yes, I was there, and that's why the first of each month I feed them free, let them play bingo free, and buy prizes for them. He was there. But I'm going to tell you something about George Singer. George Singer will be at the premiere. He has it reserved 20 seats for he and his guests at the premiere and has already gotten his tickets in his pocket. Now, when you think of men like George Singer and other men in the city and the people that are coming out, if you don't go on down there and get your ticket, you will not be able to tell your children and grandchildren that you were there when history was made. What's so historical about Brother President? First, this is the first time in the history of this station and the history of this state that a black writer has written a script for a movie. Now, I want you to think about that. The first time in the history of this state that a black writer has written a script for a movie. Secondly, this is the first time in the history of this state that a high school play has received the publicity that Brother President has received. Front page of the Oklahoma City Times, a pictured story in the Daily Oklahoman and the Oklahoma City Times, a front page story in the Daily Oklahoman at Norman, Oklahoma, front page in 6 newspapers across the state of Oklahoma, and it's appeared in 36 newspapers in the state of Oklahoma. This is the first time in the history of this state that a high school group has been able to make use of the resources of the total community. For example, who ever heard of a high school group being able to get distinguished leaders, known, a long list of leaders to participate in a project with them? Go on down to the Tower Theater, located at 425 Northwest 23rd Street, and pick up your ticket, because this is part of history. This is the first time that anything like this has happened in the state of Oklahoma. And I've got to check. I don't think my friends in Texas have had that experience either. And today, I would like to look in the background and give you some of the people that have made this film possible. This film has been filmed all over Oklahoma City, Langston University, and today I want to just acquaint you with some of the people. First, I want to thank Cleo's Restaurant, the Southgate Inn that we turned into the Lorraine Motel. I want to thank Reverend Willard Dallas of the Ebenezer Baptist Church, Dr. Strickland and the members, Mr. Williams and the citywide ushers, Mr. Gladman of the Oklahoma Transportation Company and the bus drivers that furnish buses, Mr. Orrin Johnson, who came up with a great idea, Dr. Ned Hockman, who's head of the project. I would like to thank Dolores Restaurant for furnishing a very valid issue in order that we could film. I would like to thank the pastor and the members of the Allen Chapel AME Church. I'd like to thank Bishop James from Little Rock, Arkansas. I would like to thank AmCare and that qualified, efficient staff that helped to film the assassination scene, and especially you, Michelle, that put it together. I would like to thank Dr. Ernest Hollywood, the president of Langston University, Mr. Eugene Brown, the staff, and certainly, how can I thank the members of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity that put it together? How can I say thanks to Dr. Shaw, one of the directors of Langston University? I would like to thank Mrs. Dorothy Dale Smith, members of the Sigma Gamma Rho sorority. Thanks to Sheriff Sharp and the staff of the Oklahoma County Sheriff. Thanks to Reverend Debbie K. Jackson, ministers, friends had met at the St. John's Baptist Church. Thanks to Mr. Leonardo Devos and those singers that volunteer their talent in this effort. Thanks to Mrs. Richard Garrett, who continued to prepare signs, along with Mrs. Cheryl Fowler. Thanks to Portwood Fashion Jewelry, furnished the eyeglasses for this occasion. Thanks to the Paula Funeral Home for the casket, the ambulance, the stand, and the driver. Thanks to Senator York, the Secretary of the State Senate, and members for allowing us to use the State Senate in order to film the United States Senate. Thanks to the justices of the Supreme Court, the officers and officials of the state capitol that permitted us to use the grounds. Thanks to Calvin Luper that helped with the script. Thanks to the Norman, Oklahoma Garbage Department that allowed us to shoot those traps. Thanks to Dr. Bonaski, the president of the University of Oklahoma. Thanks to the parents of all of the students, and thanks to Mrs. Jeannie Red for typing the original copy. Thanks to Mrs. Letty Ruth Hunter and Mrs. Nancy Davis that continued to serve as helpers. Thanks to Mr. Mark Gladden of the Oklahoma Transportation Company and the bus driver. Yes, our thanks to those people that came out, whether it was cold or hot, to help in the film. Now go on down to the Tower Theater and pick up your tickets for that great Brother President, the story of Martin Luther King Jr. Wouldn't you like to see a film without any profanity? Wouldn't you like to see a film about a hero? That's why I want you to go to the Tower Theater. And certainly, how can you say thanks to people like Mr. and Mrs. Alonia Threet, who say they will be there on opening night? And I really enjoy telling other people who will be there. And some of you out there in Radio Land, call me here at the studio and tell me that you're going to be with us on opening night, and I will be extremely pleased. It's Easter today, and I must take time out to say Happy Easter to you, wherever you are. And it certainly was a happy Easter for us, because Ken Germany got married. Ken Germany and Angela Clark got married yesterday at the Tabernacle Baptist Church here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Things have really changed in America during the dark days of slavery. When black people got ready to marry, they would jump the broomstick. But yesterday, Mr. Ken Germany and Mrs. Angela Clark jumped the broomstick in a new way. Pink and white were the colors. The church extremely beautiful. The Tabernacle Baptist Church in Oklahoma City. And they tell me that was the first wedding that they had at Tabernacle. And I'm telling you, Dr. Clarence Davis put them together. I had never seen anything like it before. Because traditionally in a Baptist church, you don't usually get communion. What Dr. Davis did with those two people, he had them bowed in front of him, and he drank out of the cup, and then he passed the cup to Ken, and then he passed it to Angela, and they drank. Jocelyn Brown was singing, and Reverend Davis was telling the bride and groom something. Now, I don't know what Reverend Davis told the bride and groom, but he was really talking, A large number of people came out to see that wedding, and certainly we are happy to welcome Angela Clark to the Germany family, which is part of the Shepherd family, which we're very, very happy. I told Mr. and Mrs. Clark yesterday that the Shepherd family is very happy to welcome Angela. Well, one thing about Ken, I say, he brought his grandmother to Oklahoma City. His grandmother flew in here from Phoenix, Arizona to see him jump the broomstick, which really was not a broomstick. It was a wedding benefit style. And not only that, he brought his cousin, June Tugger, came in from Arizona along with Sean to this wedding. Congratulations, Ken and Angela. I want you to have all the fun you want to, and may you stay married for the next 125 years. Happy marriage to you. It's Easter. And it's time now for us to say Happy Easter to you wherever you are. Because wherever you are, you realize that it's so Bazaar time in Oklahoma. Soul Bazaar means that the Soul Bazaar will start May 4th, 5th, and 6th. And we have a program every hour that I know you're going to enjoy. Soul Bazaar 84, Dolly Turner's show. And Dolly Turner always presents a show that's out of sight. This year we will have the Starlight Tumblers. The tumblers that soon will be going to Japan to represent the United States. We will have motivational and educational program along with the Douglas High School dancers, the John Marshall dancers, the Letty Ruth Hunter's fashion show. And incidentally, Letty Ruth this year is sponsoring a fashion show where you decide. You say you can present at the fashion show. She said, okay, for 15 minutes you will present your fashion show and I will have judges, and the judges will determine who can present the best fashion show in 15 minutes. Mama Jack, I'm expecting her here today if nothing happens, and she will tell you about that fabulous baby show. And this Soul Bazaar 84 will be crowned with all of her glory, with all of her beauty on Friday night. Mr. Arthur Houston has told me that the regional stomp show with sororities and fraternities are really coming along. He says it's going to be great. It doesn't seem possible, but it was 15 years ago that the Soul Bazaar was introduced to Oklahoma City. And on the 15th year, we are calling on you to make this the biggest Soul Bazaar in the history of Soul Bazaars. Now, all of you that have been in the parade for 15 years, we want you back. Those of you that have not been in the Soul Bazaar parade, we want you in that parade. Now, if you notice, our success in Oklahoma City depended upon you, because your success has been our success. You're the ones that have made Soul Bazaar possible. I want all of the drill teams that want to show to the public that they are drill teams, I want you to call us. You may call us here today at KAEZ 424-3376, or you may call 424-3949. We would like to invite the bands. We would like to invite various rodeo groups. Any queen in Oklahoma City. We are Arcadia, Luther. It doesn't make any difference. We want you to be in the parade because we just think you are too beautiful not to let people see you. And this year we are making a special effort to get you downtown to see the parade. So many times as people, we don't want to see our people moving ahead. But I want you to see. I want you to see Oklahoma City at its best. Those of you that own trucks, those of you that own buggies and wagons, whatever you own, we want it in the parade because it's everybody's parade. You don't see too often as you travel across the country the minorities taking a lead and pride in themselves. We want you to have your cars decorated, your bicycles decorated. We've done it for 14 years, and we're going to make this the 15th year the most outstanding one of all. Those of you that have talent that would like to participate in the All-State Talent Show, be sure and let us know. And the featuring act this year will be the Starlight Tumblers. Mr. Carter has told me that the boxing show this year will be quite unusual. And next week I shall expect Mr. Carter and Mr. Williams to be here to tell you about the boxing show. Those of you that belong to gospel groups, we've always had a gospel singing group at the Soul Bazaar, and this year will be no exception. The highlight of the Soul Bazaar is certainly the exhibitors, and I would like to salute those that will be exhibiting in the 1984 Soul Bazaar. The Community Action Program, Safeways, the Medical Center State Bank, the Pure Water Filter Company. Now, that's a company that I want to tell you about. That's the Pure Water Filter Company. And Mr. Doss is the president, and you will see something that you've never seen before when you see the Pure Water Filter Company. Haywood Hill Corporate Company will be back. The GEM Enterprises from Whitaker, California. George Keys, your county assessor. HTB will be back. The Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States will be there. And incidentally, one of the leading black executives will be honored. We will honor two this year, one from out of state and one from interstate. Mr. George Keys, once again, will be at the Soul Bazaar. Langston University, the university that's still growing in spite of all will be there. And they have a program that you have to see. Coorsville will be there to show the employment opportunities that are offered in this community. But we will have something new. Mr. Boulder of Los Angeles, California will be here with what's new in the Olympic line. And certainly those of you that will not be going to the Olympics, Mr. Boulder will bring the Olympics here. I want you to see art this year. And certainly we would like to invite more artists. We are particularly interested in old outstanding citizen. And today, the Ormsby family, along with Mrs. Ormsby's devoted sister, Mrs. Salters, would like to say thanks to this community, this state, and this nation for all of the love, the understanding that was shown toward them during this week. To Mr. Ormsby, Mrs. Salters, and others, the staff at KAEC extend to you our sincere sympathy. Happy Easter from the M&W Welding Company. You don't have to worry about burglar bars. All you have to do is call the M&W Welding Company at 232-7760. And they have moved on Northeast 23rd Street. That's the M&W Welding Company. Seals Cleaners say Happy Easter at 3617 North Everett Street, where you can bring your clothes in at 8 a.m. and get them out at 8 p.m. That's Seals Cleaners. Congratulations again to Mr. George Singer, and I want you to know that Mr. George Singer is in the movie. And those of you that saw him on television, you know he looked good on television, but you haven't seen anything until you see him on the film. That's in Brother President. Those of you that go to the House of Bingo, be sure and congratulate Mr. George Singer for not only being there, but being in the movie. Next week, I hope to have the Gaines twins, Shirley Lovelace, Ronald Moore, and some of the other stars from Brother President. Many of the stars will be attending Soul Bazaar 84, and you will get to meet these stars before May 17th. My sister Hazel is in town, and I wanted her to come out with Onita so we could sing a trio. The last time we sang was down at Hoffman, Oklahoma, where my daddy made us sing, and the people down there in church certainly had the Holy Ghost. They listened to us sing. They listened 1 minute, and we were singing Take a Stand, and they took a stand and walked out of the church. And Onita, Hazel, and I have not tried to sing since. But today, if she had come out here, we would have tried that song again. Take a stand, take a stand, take a stand. How do you say to people over Radio Lane to see a movie? You just tell them to go on down to the Tower Theater, and you can get it. You can get your tickets from 5:30 every day to 10. But today you can get your tickets right now down to the Tower Theater. And the 5 of you that went down there to get your tickets, I'm going to find out about them. I have something very special for you. Miss Wallace, I want to know, you are the producer of the pageants. Are you in Brother President?
Oh, yes. Yes, I am.
Oh, you're one of the movie stars in Brother
yes.
President.
I'm very excited about Brother President.
Are you coming to the premiere?
Oh, yes. I will be there.
Oh, gracious.
Yes, I will be there. But Mrs. Luper, I would like to also say this evening, very, very briefly, Miss Black Spencer, Convalescent Burge, is at school at Stillwater. She would like everyone to know if they are interested in a ticket and sponsoring Miss Black Spencer, all they have to do is call 769-5707 or stop by Elegant Things at 4100 North Westminster, and we will be happy to furnish them with all the tickets they need for the pageant.
Well, that sure is incidentally. Nala Jewel Phillips told me that Miss Black Oklahoma City was going to win. And when Nala Jewel tells me something, I believe it.
Well, Mrs. Luper, I'll tell you, this pageant is going to be tough. The judges are going to have their work cut out for them. Mrs. Literary Hunter was saying earlier, that all she has to do is count them. But the judges will have a tough job this year.
Okay,
the girls are ready.
We'll see, but we are ready. We are ready. And speaking of being ready, here's Mama Jack.
Well, hello, Miss Luper. You said a wonderful thing about Jesus rose and I'm rising. I'm here to tell you that we're rising now. He rose, saved me, and I'm rising to help you. Bring those babies. Bring Michael Jackson. Bring your talent to 1411 Northeast 37th Street, 427-3065. And my address is 1411 Northeast 37th. I was giving you my old address. We don't want to order for old, it's a new. Miss Hunt, I'm getting ready for you. See that hat I have on my head? I'm going to model that hat. Bring your talent, babies, 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 to Mama Jack.
Okay, the Soul Bazaar young ladies will meet tomorrow night at 6:30 for their rehearsal. And speaking of something very special, somebody wants to know why is it that the angel didn't give the message to the men? Do you really want me to answer that? I would like for, okay, Mama Jack, why do you think the angels didn't tell the men that Jesus had risen from the dead?
Because they were asleep somewhere. The ladies have a job. They have a message. You better come on here about it because we got something to tell you.
Mrs. Wallace, I want you to ask that question. Why do you say the angel didn't tell the men that Jesus had risen from the dead?
Oh, well, it was a possibility. Since it was on a Sunday, Mrs. Luper, they were probably watching the game.
Okay, Mrs. Letty Ruth Hunter, could you answer the $1,000 question today? Why was it that the angels did not tell the men that Jesus had risen from the dead?
Well, I don't know, Mrs. Luper. If you go into these churches and see how many men are there, then I imagine he was looking at that, because sometimes you go to churches, I don't believe there are any men. It's all widows. So I don't imagine that they were there, because he had to tell the group that's there. Now, you go to these churches and see who's there.
Okay, here's Onita. Onita, I would like for you to answer the $1,000 question. Why was it that the angels didn't tell the men that Jesus had risen?
Well, Clara, I think because of the fact that they know that they told the woman we'd get the news around. And the news had to be out that he had rose. And we women will tell each other. We'll tell the world, yeah.
Okay, now, Shelley, you're 10 years old now. Why do you think Jesus didn't tell the men or the little boys the angels didn't tell them that Jesus had risen?
Because the women can spread gossip around faster than me.
Okay, here's Miss Black Spencer. Miss Black Choctaw, tell me why you feel that the angels didn't give the message to the men.
Because the men weren't there.
Oh, right. Here's Miss Black Walker, who says she's going to win, and I know Johnny Jones out there pulling for her. Can you answer this question? Here's a big question. Why do you think that the angels didn't give the message to the men?
Because the gospel women were there.
Oh, great. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like now to say Happy Easter to you. I don't know the answer to our question, but I do know one thing, that the women got the message. And today the women have given you a message of love. We have reread from the greatest book that has ever been written. And as this Easter comes with this message of new life, a new chance, we would like for you to answer the question, were you there when they crucified our Lord? And that question must be answered today in its own terms and through its own times. We cannot live in the past. We can only use the past as a stepping stone into the future. And today is so important. As I look at the clock on the wall, I know I'm going to have to say goodbye, but for some reason we are so close together that I hate to say goodbye to you. I hate to say goodbye to you because I love you so. You are so sweet and so kind. And we have been together so long, and we communicate with each other. Many of you see me on the streets and you say hello, and that means so much to me because you are the light of my eyes. You are the apple in my apple pie. You're my Easter lilies, and I love you so much. And those of you who don't like me, I just want you to know on this Easter that I love you. I love you so much until I want to see you succeed. And to my enemies, if there's anything that I can do for you to help you, I want to be there trying. I would like to congratulate Miss Johnson for her fight to name Martin Luther King Avenue. And next week she will be out here to share those great moments with us. And now, darlings, I'll see you at the Tower Theater as you pick up your tickets. I'll see you at the Soul Bazaar. I'll see you at Lady Ruth Hunter's dinner. I'll see you at Miss Black America, Miss Black Oklahoma. And I will be leaving you going to Arizona, where I've been invited to be the guest speaker at the Tanner AME Church, May 20th. And darling, until next Sunday, let Clara Luper say to you, wherever you are, Happy Easter, and may God continue to bless and keep you wherever you are. Clara Luper saying, I do love you. And a happy Easter to my husband, CP, and to the lovely Wilson family, and to all of our families. Goodbye, darlings, and I do love you. Bye-bye. I want those girls. Hi. Hi, Jimmy.
June 11th, Jimmy. You got a date, June 11th. You got to be in town. That's the opening of my court case.